Hi friends, Hattie from Honeybee Stampers here. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and in today's video we are going to be talking all about daffodils. So this is our January online workshop. If you're watching me on Facebook, on my Facebook business page, welcome. If you're watching it on YouTube, welcome. I'm so glad you guys are here. So today I'm just going to be stamping and crafting with you guys and sharing some really awesome new product that's coming out, or that has come out in the new January to June mini catalog that I like to refer to as the spring mini, and then also talking to you about Sale-A-Bration. So Sale-A-Bration is this little catalog, and it goes from January to February, and you can purchase product, any product out of the regular catalogs, and get product out of that little Sale-A-Bration catalog for free based on your sales. So I'll talk more about that later. Hi Betty, how are you? Okay, let's get started because I've got lots to share and I'm excited about this suite of products. Well, actually it's not a suite, it's actually a bundle, and then there's some DSP that coordinates with it. Right now I am doing this video at my studio in Sumter, South Carolina, and I'm right by the window and there are a lot of kids outside, so you're gonna have to excuse the noise. We've got a homeschooling organization that's right next door to me, and so today must be a very busy day for the kids. Okay, before I forget, let me talk to you about the host code for today. So during the online workshop, if your order reaches $50 or more, you're going to get to choose something free out of this catalog. If your order reaches $75 or more, then you're going to get something free out of that catalog. Plus, you're going to get a free gift from me to you. And this month, the gift is the Iridescent Rhinestone Basic Jewels. And this is only good, this special is only available from now until Monday. Those of you who place an order of 150 or more, you're automatically going to get it. But those of you who place orders less than that, then I'm going to ask that you use this host code. Ignore the January host code part. It should say online workshop. But the host code for the online workshop is 63S3DQUY. Crazy letters and numbers right there. But just wanted to mention that before I forget. Okay, let's get started. So, Daffodil Daydream. This is something that is in the Spring Mini. Show you the cover of that catalog. Looks like this. Okay, and on page 37 you're going to see this bundle of products. It's the Daffodil Daydream stamp set, which you see here. It is a red rubber stamp set. Okay, and you're going to see also some little dies that are down here, just a small picture of them. Here are a few of the dies for you. We're going to be playing with this in just a minute as well. And if you were to get these separately, you can pay $23 for the stamp set or $38 for the dies, or you can get them together as a bundle for $54.75. That saves you 10%. And then you can get this beautiful paper right here for free. So let me show you all of this pretty paper. This paper is in the Sale-A-Bration catalog. Here's the Sale-A-Bration catalog. And if you turn to page 4 and even on page 5, you'll see some samples on both pages. You've got the Daffodil Afternoon 12 by 12 designer series paper. And beautiful samples right here, and even reminds you that it coordinates with that bundle that I just mentioned. So let's look at this paper a little closer. I put this one on top because this one might be my favorite. I have two favorites in this pack, but I love this paper. And then here is the other side. They've got some great colors that are a part of this DSP. And I'll read off some of the colors to you here while we're going through this paper pack. So here's another one of my favorites. And here's the other side. We've got Basic Black, Crushed Curry, Daffodil Delight, Evening Evergreen, Flirty Flamingo, Mint Macaron, Mossy Meadow, Pale Papaya, Pear Pizzazz, and Very Vanilla. So beautiful colors. I love when they do something that coordinates with Very Vanilla, because I have a ton of Very Vanilla and I like to use it, but I'm always reaching for my basic white cardstock. So there's that. There's the other side. And then there's the other side of that. Okay. Let me set this to the side so we can get crafting on our first project, because I know that's why you guys are here. So I wanted to talk about some simple stamping first of all. I am a lover of simple stamping. anything that's just stamps, ink, and paper makes everybody's life easier and makes crafting fun. So I'm just going to show you a simple card. So here's the first one. This one right here is just the designer series paper that's been cut down, and then I put it on a piece of crushed curry cardstock base, and I use this stamp. So this stamp is not part of the Daffodil Daydream here. You've got these great sentiments, Happy Mother's Day and Easter Blessings. There's actually another stamp set that I'm going to be featuring today called Special Moments. So Special Moments is part of the celebration offering as well. It is at the $100 level, and it is on page, let me flip to it here. It's on page 14. So you'll see this here, Special Moments. If you spend $100, you can get this for free. They've got all these fantastic sentiments, and we're going to be using a lot of them today. And then here's some great samples where they've used all the different sentiments there. Okay, so what I've decided to do with this one is maybe step it up just a smudge. Let me show you the paper that this has been cut from. So if you were paying attention to the little run through of our DSP, hopefully this fits on in the picture or the camera frame, but you've got this DSP that looks like this. It's pretty special. You've got this very vanilla empty space in the top, and then you've got two mirrored images here. What I've done simply is cut down the cardstock or the DSP so that it's 4 inches this way, and then 5 1/4. Okay, and what I did for this card, because I needed some of this very vanilla to be able to stamp my sentiment, I just made sure I trimmed off the bottom part so there's not as much of the leaves showing so that I could stamp. So quick and easy. So for this one though, I decided I wanted to put my sentiment down here. And so if you can see this here, I cut this down just a little bit more so that I can mat it on a piece of Evening Evergreen. So Evening Evergreen is one of the colors that coordinates in the DSP. And whenever I'm designing, you guys probably know this if you follow me, I just look right away to the DSP for guidance, and I look at the colors that they've used and I go with that. So as you can see here, just putting on that little bit of matting and then placing it on that card, you already have a card that looks a little bit more stepped up. Maybe that's just my eyes playing tricks on me, but I think so. Okay, so now what I wanted to do was have my sentiment down at the bottom here. I took one of our trusty, very popular dies called So Sentimental. It's an oldie but goodie. I reach for it very often, so make sure you have that in your arsenal because you will use it a lot. And I am going to stamp one of the sentiments out of here. Let's see, which one did I pick? The one I picked is Where Would I Be Without a Friend Like You? I'm actually going to turn this little light off. Hi, Brenda, because it's offering a glare that I don't need. Okay, there we go. I've got all kinds of glares, but that was just an extra one. Okay, so we've got Special Moments. This is that celebration stamp set, and then I've die cut this already. I am going to go ahead and take our Evening Evergreen ink because that coordinates, so it makes it easy, and open this up. Our ink pads are foam pads. Oopsie. This is why you need a little grid paper. We sell this grid paper too. This is the one that goes in the Stamparatus. I like this one because it's smaller and easier to manage. And then we've got a larger one that takes up your whole workspace. I think it's like 11 by 17 or something. So you can get either one of those, but makes it nice because if you want to stamp off or just be messy or practice, then you've got that to do that. All right, so I'm going to take this here and ink up Where would I be without a friend like you? And because it's photopolymer, it's see-through, I can see and move it around and position it where I want it before I press down. I'm going to give it nice even pressure, straight down and straight up. When you're using the photopolymer, make sure that you have maybe a foam pad underneath you so that you have a better image. Without the, like for instance, this has the red rubber, it also has the foam already built in there, and so you don't need that necessarily, but when you have foam underneath, it just makes the image a lot more crisp. So let's go ahead and assemble this. In my past online workshops, I've done 3 different cards usually. I think the December one I didn't. I actually did just a box of cards featuring the same product, and I felt like that was fun. So I am gonna try this where I'm actually just featuring one product or one suite of products, or just focusing on something and really doing it up, showing you lots of samples with it, things that you can do with it, and just teaching a little bit more about that one product. And then maybe we'll see. I'll hop on more often. That would be my goal. And do little short snippets here and there, and see if you guys like that better. Okay, adding some liquid adhesive. I used to always use our tape runners, especially when we had fast views. And then I started using this, what people like to call green glue, or this liquid adhesive. And I really enjoy it. A little bit goes a long way, and it's a good hold. It's easy to work with, and the more you work with it, the easier it'll be. And you know what? I put that down before I put my twine down. See, this is what happens when I talk and try to craft at the same time. It never works out. Okay, let's see here. I had some Very Vanilla twine. So this Very Vanilla twine right here is part of a collection of twine. And let me just find that really quick so you can see it. This is a great one because twine is so easy to use and to just, like, I don't know, step your cards up. And if you get this baker's twine down here, it's the Essentials pack on page 140, you would get 5 spools: crumb cake, white, black, gray granite, Very Vanilla. So you get all of those to cover so many different cards. And so we've got this Very Vanilla here. I was gonna wrap the twine around here a couple times, but I already glued it down. So I'm just gonna tie a bow. And I think I will just do a single bow for this one, keeping it nice and simple. I hope that that noise outside is not carrying through on my camera. If it is, we will be hearing some, I don't know if they're teenagers. They look smaller than teenagers. Some little teeny bopper conversations. See what they're up to nowadays, right? Okay, so now what we're gonna do is take this and just add my favorite dimensionals. These dimensionals just pop up your pieces. What usually I do a sentiment. I almost always do dimensionals. I didn't on this one, but this was one of my quick and easy cards that I wanted to show you. Okay. When I get this card done, I'll have a chance to hop over to my Facebook page and see if I have any questions or who's following. If you're watching, give me a shout out, even if it's the recording. I love to say hi and see who's watching. It's always fun. If you love the projects that you see today, please give it a share, a thumbs up, a like, comment, all the things. Okay, I'm gonna place a glue dot right there, and let's just add this. Okay, right there. Now, if I wasn't talking, like I said, I'd be wrapping that twine around a couple times to just add something. Now, if you wanted to take this even a step further, let's see here. Well, hi, Rhonda. Hi, Miss Linda. Linda, I was just thinking about you. I hadn't seen you or talked to you in forever. Okay, let's see. We've got some gems that were in the annual catalog. The 2021-2023 in colors. So this is the evening evergreen right here. And so let's soft succulent, fresh freesia, evening evergreen. What is this one? Pale papaya. And I've drawn a blank. No, I said that one. Anyways, let's jazz this one up and see what it does. So I'll just stick one right here, maybe. One right there. I'm being indecisive. And then we'll stick one up here in the flowers. And then let's do our rule of threes. Let's stick this one here. Oh, let's stick it right there in the middle. Okay. Oh, that was kind of cute. So then that adds just a little extra bling. So these are super, super simple cards that you can use or create just using the DSP. Hi, Rita. Hi, Miss Lila. Thank you guys for joining. Okay, let's set that to the side and let's move on to card number 2. I'm going to put this in a place where I'm going to find it. So I'm going to stick it right on the shelf to the right of me. At the end of this video, if you guys hear me say, where did I put those cards? Give me a shout out. Let me know. Okay. Next card. The next card is a little bit more stepped up. I'm going to show you that one. It's this one. So this card, like I said earlier, this got my favorite DSP. I don't know. I see it and it's just, and then when you put it against the pale papaya, it just pops, in my opinion. So I created this little card here to show you how it coordinates so well with the stamp set and the dies that are offered in the January to June mini catalog. Again, I used a sentiment from the Special Moments versus what was available because, you know, Mother's Day and Easter is coming up, but not right away. So I wanted to do something different. And this sentiment says, just a card to say you're amazing, which I think all of you are amazing and I appreciate you so much. Okay. Now on this card, you're going to see these pretty gems. Those gems are the iridescent rhinestones. These are the ones that you can get for free if you place an order with me using this host code. And the order has to be $75 before shipping and tax. Okay. And then you'll get this for free. All right. Let's start creating this card together. Let me get all my pieces out here. Let me get myself organized. So this is the base of the card. This is that pale papaya that I mentioned earlier. Really love this color. And especially, I love it with black. It almost glows a little bit, if you know what I mean. Okay, so there's our base. This piece right here, this is actually our shimmer white cardstock. So shimmer white cardstock is available in the annual catalog. You can find it. I can show it to you guys later. But if you look at it, it almost looks like right in between very vanilla and basic white. Basic white is super white right now. So this is more like very vanilla in my opinion. But if you look closely and you kind of move it around like this, I don't know that the camera picks that up, you'll see little flecks or little sparkles. And those little sparkles will let you know that it is shimmer white cardstock. And this is the cardstock you want to reach for when you're doing something like watercoloring. What it does is it allows you to hold, this particular paper holds the water so much better than just our basic white or our very vanilla. And so you won't have that pilling that can happen sometimes. Now I'm going to take this stamp. The stamp is from the stamp set that coordinates with this DSP. I'm going to do just the single one today. And we're going to ink this up. I'm using Stays On ink for this one because I'm going to be using blender pens. And so I want to make sure that I don't have the ink. If you use the dye-based ink, the blender pens can kind of make it bleed. So we're going to use this one. Okay, make sure it's inked up well. And then I'm just going to stamp right here. Okay, there's my image. I love it. Okay, stick that to the side. Let me let this dry for just a second while I go ahead and take a look at what I'm doing here with this paper. So I'm going to take a piece of the DSP. This is the other side. That was another one of my favorites. And we're just going to adhere this towards the bottom of our other DSP. Add a little bit of glue here. Okay. I don't know why I grabbed for this particular DSP. It's not something that I probably would have typically used. I'm going to do it this way. But I just wanted to kind of showcase all the paper. And I'm going to be covering it up, and I think it turned out great. Okay. Is that level? I don't know if it's the stripes are off. I do need to get a new pair of glasses. Okay, So there's that. And then the other thing I want to do is go ahead and adhere this to the base of the card while we're waiting. Ooh, I forgot. Whenever I use StazOn and I'm stamping with StazOn, I like to try to clean my stamp right away, which you saw I didn't. So let me just turn this over. And the first thing I do is I rub off that excess ink on a piece of my scrap paper, and then I will reach for my Stampin' Scrub and Mist. You guys remember this old thing? So once that chamois came out, we completely forgot about this. But this Stampin' Scrub and Mist is a must for crafters. You've got on the left-hand side the part that you can scrub, and the right-hand side the part that you can dry with. You even have like a little sun in the corner there and little raindrops to kind of remind you of which side's which. But you just take our Stampin' Mist, and this mist has a conditioner in it and cleaner. It just keeps our stamps nice and moist. So what you're going to do is you're going to take and you're going to clean on the left side. I'm probably shaking the table up. And then you're going to dry on the right. So whenever I'm using StazOn, I definitely, look at that, that's so much better. I definitely try to clean it right away, and I try to use this versus the chamois. Just a little tip. Okay, so now let's go ahead and place this onto our card front. Sometimes I try to do all my stamping and do everything before I start assembling because I'm afraid I'm going to do like what I did with the last card and put something down when I'm not supposed to, but I feel safe about this one. Oh, you know what? I spoke too soon. I already see where my mistake is because we're going to have to trim the round vellum. That's okay. I'll get it, girls and guys. I'll figure it out. Let me try to center this a little bit better. So when I'm putting it on a card like this, where it's a tent fold card that opens this way, I always try to make sure I line it up with the top really well, and then open it up. And if there's any excess hanging off, then I will just easily trim it with my scissors using the actual base of the card as my guide. Okay, now let's get in here and start coloring. Something that I wanted to mention, you can there's so many different mediums that we use right now, or that we offer through our Stampin' Up! Catalog and online for coloring. But I wanted to go with a softer look for this particular flower to kind of mimic the cardstock, I mean the DSP. So if I were to use markers, because we've got coordinating markers with all our ink pads, then the flower would have come out like this, which isn't bad, right? It's not terrible, but I feel like, if you can see the comparison there, I feel like this one married up a lot better. We also have stamping blends, which are amazing. There are alcohol markers, and they would color this beautifully too, but I still wanted something even a little bit more delicate. So what I'm gonna do is take our ink pads, so many different ways that you can color too, and our blender pen. Okay, these are our blender pens. They are dual tipped, so you got the same tip on both sides, and they've got some type of a solution in there that's made with glycerin. It allows you to, well, if you're using colored pencils or even our pastels, allows you to break down that product a little bit and glide it over your image so that it blends nicely. Now I'm going to actually be using our ink pad. So what I'm going to do is start with the Fleur de Flamingo, which is one of the coordinating colors, and I'm just going to pinch it together like this. And when I open it up, you're going to see that in the well of the stamp, or the ink pad, you're going to see some of that ink pooling right there. I'm going to take my blender pen. First, I'm going to check to make sure that it's clear, running clear, that I know I can use it even though it's stained. And I'm going to pick up some of this color. Now I don't want my daffodil to have a very strong Fleur de Flamingo color, so let me just wipe some off on my paper. You could even wipe some off in the well of your ink pad as well until it runs a little bit lighter. So I'm just going to add a little tiny bit of Fleur de Flamingo to the edges here. It's so weird. When I'm coloring on my own, I have no problem. When I'm coloring and I know that somebody's watching me or I'm on video, I have the shakes. It's crazy. All right, so even though the DSP doesn't have this flirty flamingo in the leaf or these petals of the flower, I'm gonna do it anyway. Change it up a little bit. Okay, so I'm just outlining that. Okay, let me bring it up. Let me see if this actually focuses. I think it does. I think you guys can see that. All right, now I'm gonna just wipe this off until it runs clear. And I'm actually gonna use the other side because I'm gonna just be going back and forth between these two colors for now. Well, actually 3 colors. Here's our pale papaya. We're gonna do the same thing. Grab some of that ink out of the middle, out of the well, and I'm going, ooh, you know what I forgot to do was make sure that I wiped it off so it wasn't too strong. Okay, that's okay. And we're just gonna add some more of this color to the flower. I'm gonna have to find a different place to do my videos on Thursday, I think. Can you guys hear that? Or is it just me? They're right in, like literally playing football right in front of my window or my door that I'm sitting at and coloring. Okay. Let's see. Coloring this up. And you can make these daffodils any color you'd like. Just have fun with it. Okay, so this is a very light, as you guys can see, daffodil. And if I wanted to get in there and get some more color, let me just pick up some more color there. You can go back over it. And like I mentioned earlier, this paper lends well to this type of a technique, this watercoloring, where you want to maybe add more color or apply more water if you're using water, water painter or something, without having the paper actually become destroyed. So let's wipe that off. Wipe this off. And I'm gonna grab, I didn't have our Mossy Meadow ink pad on me. So what I'm gonna do is just take the marker. And if you take the marker and you add some marker to an acrylic block or some non-porous surface like that, then you can use that as a palette. So you'll see that I've got the ink there, maybe, and I'm just gonna pick up some color and we're gonna do the same thing. So let's test the color out first, make sure it's not too dark, and then we're just gonna add some of that color on here. I'm not doing the best job with shading and whatnot. I'm just trying to get this colored, but you guys can take your time with it, of course, and color and shade and think about where your light source is coming from and all that good stuff. I actually met a girl here in town who is a real artist, and I follow her on Instagram. I gotta remember what her Instagram handle is, but she actually runs a magazine here in Sumter, and I'm gonna figure out what her Instagram, because she does these little drawings, and I mean, she's a real artist and it is amazing. I could sit there and watch her watercolor and paint for days. It's just awesome. So this is me pretending that I'm, a professional artiste. So there we go. Now what we want to do is die cut this, and luckily for us, the dies that coordinate with this bundle, the daffodil dies, they have a die that cuts out just that. I'm going to bring in my trusty, I'm going to call it trusty, it better not mess up, but this is my little mini cut and emboss machine. And just run this through the die cutting machine. Let's see here. So I'm going to place our first one in, and then we need 2 cutting plates. Let me see if you can see what I'm doing. Ah, there we go. And I might have to trim this down. I do. Let me come over here and trim down this paper so it will fit. Okay. I didn't pay attention to that before I started. Okay. Now we're going to take the die and place it over And you just kind of have to move it around until you get it exactly where you want it. There we go. That's what I'll say is good enough until I just moved it just now. Okay, hold on. Sometimes, since this doesn't have a magnet that will hold it down, which sometimes the magnet drives me nuts too, what you can do is use some washi tape. And like I said, I'm a little shaky when I'm on camera. Oy vey. That is good enough, you guys, right? I'm just going to go for it. All right, so I'm going to run it through. Let me hang on here, shake the table a little bit. All right, let's get that out and see. Okay, so you can see that it shifted a little bit, but we're just going to move on with the show. Those of you who know me know I will go back and do that again later. Okay. Now we're just moving right along here. I cut out a piece of circle vellum. And then I've got this for our sentiment. So what I'm going to do is place the vellum here. Okay, and kind of put my flower where I think I'm going to have it. There we go. I think that works. And let's go ahead and put our flower down. Oops, nope. Stamp our sentiment first. So the sentiment that I'm using, like I said, just a card to say you're amazing. And I'm going to reach for that. This one I used basic black, or the Memento black, but I think I'm going to use Evening Evergreen this time and see how that looks. Okay, so we're going to ink up the sentiment, and it just needs a little bit of tapping, tap, tap, tap. And I'm going to hover over and stamp down. This is just a strip of very vanilla cardstock that often I get, you know, different sizes of it that I can use for sentiments just based on me cutting mats and stuff like that for cards. All right, so now when we go to put this down, I want to hide this end of it. Well, you know what? I'll do it differently. I won't. We'll just leave it as is. Let me trim down. I'm going to trim down this side. Okay. If you guys got our little mini trimmer when that was a special for joining a couple celebrations ago, I believe, that's perfect for you cutting these little sentiments. Okay, so here we go. Now I want to figure out, I'll just place that here. Bear with me, guys, while I'm getting organized here. I'm going to add the sentiment on first. Okay, because I know I'm going to trim off a part of this vellum, so let me stick it over this way. And okay, there we go. And this is what I was mentioning earlier, how I shouldn't have put that down yet because I didn't trim. Let me just do this. I'm improvising. I've been learning to improvise a lot more lately. All right, that works for me. So now what we're going to do is add our flower. Add it right there. And on the back of this, I'm going to put some dimensionals. So you want to, with vellum, you want to always be very strategic about where you place your adhesive because you can see it. You can see right through it. I know they sell stuff out there for that you can put under vellum so you don't see it, but it's very rare that I'm doing a project where I need it, you know, to be just vellum and that I can't hide the adhesive. So let's line this back up. Okay, there we go. I love it. All right, so now we're gonna take and I'm gonna do a double bow. We're gonna use that same twine that we used earlier today. It's that very vanilla. And to create a double bow, you just fold it in half like this. And then you fold it in half again so that it looks like that. Let me see what I can see in the camera here. And then you wrap it around that loop and you push that piece that you wrapped around through the hole that you've made, and then you pull it. I have people that ask me about tying bows all the time, and so every chance I can to show that, I'm gonna do it. Hopefully that didn't bore some of you to tears. All right, let's cut off the tails here. And we're gonna use a glue dot to adhere that double bow. All right, today is such a good day for stamping, I think. I don't know why. It's not like super gloomy or anything like that. It was actually really nice today, but it just feels like a really nice day to stamp. Okay, now that we've done that, we're gonna add in these rhinestones. So these rhinestones, as you can see, are iridescent, but whatever you put it next to, it seems like it picks up that color. So I love that about these. And they are beautiful. They are actually part of the Valentine suite of products, which I have some cute samples to share with you guys. I won't do it today, but eventually I'm going to get on and do some Valentines and some love-inspired cards. Let's stick one right there. And I'll be using this again, but how pretty is that? Okay, so that is the completed card. I hope you guys enjoyed that card. Let me actually just check and see if I have any questions. Thank you, Brenda. Hi, Susan. Linda, you can hear them. Okay, well, they're gone now. Okay, so that's card number 2. Again, I'm putting it on the shelf to the right of me so I don't forget. Okay, now, yeah, they were a little bit distracting. Kids being kids, you know. Okay, for this last card, I'm going to actually talk to you guys about the dies a little bit more. So this die right here, this one die cuts the bunch of daffodils. And you know, the other day I was doing a video and I was saying that the daffodils are special to Sumter. And my friend Angela was like, I think you meant irises, because there's a huge iris festival that happens here in Sumter. And I found out that that iris festival actually pulls thousands and thousands of people. There's some bus route that goes from like California, from like the west coast to the east coast, or vice versa, and people from all over the world get on this bus route, and one of the stops is Sumter, South Carolina, and they go to the Iris Festival here at Swan Lake. It's like incredible. Anyways, so I stand corrected. I think daffodil, I thought of Sumter because the very first time I moved to Sumter, I participated in a craft fair that was called the Daffodil Craft Fair or something. They still have it. I just haven't done it in a long time, but that's pretty cool. I forgot to put this piece in. So this piece right here is going to go on the inside of that last card. Okay. I just just to tie in the DSP. I like to tie in the DSP and sometimes the DSP, and sometimes tie it in with the envelopes too. Okay, let me find those dies now on my table. Okay, so we've got all these great dies that are part of the bundle. And the great thing about this is there's actually duplicates, so that when you stick them and you run them through, you can create several different flowers. The flowers that I'm going to create are monochromatic, but I'm going to show you what it would look like if you were to do a two-tone of some kind. So let me just build a flower and you guys will get it. So let's see here. Oh my goodness, so many little pieces. All right, so I'm gonna dig these out. I didn't organize these like I probably should have, but it's so much easier than maybe it looks. Sometimes there's product and you see it and you're like, oh, I'm not getting that. I have no idea what they're doing with that. It's so confusing, but then it's not. It's really not. Okay, so I'm just grabbing a couple pieces out and let me show you. So these right here is this little die, and so you've got a couple of them there. and you're going to need 2 of them to create 1 daffodil. And then you've got a detailed piece. So you know how we have like 2-step stamping? This is like 2-step die cutting. It just gives you more detail. And here's that. So there's those 2 pieces right there. And you're going to need 2 of those. So I'm going to take my liquid adhesive. Something that you could do also is run this through with our adhesive sheets. I just didn't. And then they become stickers and you can peel the back off and just adhere them. But no, I'm just going to do it this way. Okay. I would recommend a silicone mat to work on, because if you get glue where you don't want it, then the silicone mat does not allow it to stick. Let me pull this in while I'm thinking of that. Alrighty, so here we go. Here's that detailed, that 2-step essentially, and it will match up. So if it doesn't seem like it's matching, you just can keep, I found that if I kept turning it, I think it was right the first time, you'll get the match that you're looking for. There we go. So I added a little bit of adhesive. So that's one right on top of the other. You can see that little bit of detail. You could even sponge these if you wanted to. You could just use 2 different colored cardstock. And let me show you an example. So I did die cut some of the DSP. And let me take these off so you can see that 2-tone effect. So here is a piece of the DSP, and then if I add some adhesive to that and put it on a basic or a very vanilla, you can see that detail. So if you like that look, go for it. Okay. Can you guys see that? I think you can see it much better that way. Let me show you another one like that. I'm just going to piece a couple together and then we'll kind of work through our card. Our final card for today. And then I've got some samples to show y'all. You guys will have to let me know if you like daffodils, if you like this bundle, if you think it's cute, if you have it already. It'd be cool to see some sample projects that you guys have made. If you wanted to post that in the comments section, that would be fun. Okay, so then this one lines up with this. This kind of reminds me of a crab or a spider or something. More like a crab. It reminds me of a crab. There. Okay. And then let's see here. Let me do this one too, and then I can put this all together. I need a different one. Okay. Sorry guys, bear with me. It's all these little pieces that I'm having to go through. Okay. There's that one. Okay, so there's this one here that looks like this, and then the detailed piece looks like this. Okay, another set of crab claws. I'm going to use the yellow so that you guys can see it a little bit better. Okay. And we'll add this. I don't typically do projects that are this time intensive when I'm doing an online workshop, but I just wanted to show you guys how this worked, because I've had a couple people ask me about it and they were like, I don't think I'm going to get that because it looks too confusing. It really isn't. So I just wanted to demystify it. All right. Let me grab a couple more pieces. Okay, well anyways, so this right here, this piece and this piece go together. So you would, oops, goes this way. So you would adhere those together like that. Let me go ahead and do that so you could see. Okay. Goes together just like that. And then you've got this flower that you can put on top. and I'll just glue it on here. On the other cards, or the other sample, I actually put them up on dimensionals. So that back one is actually going to get covered up. There we go. So then that's like one of the daffodils, and it looks weird, probably, but once you build them all and put them all together, it starts to come to life. So let me show you a couple more. So for instance, here's this one. So this is one where you need to take 2 of these and you just crisscross them. Let me find another one. Okay, so you would put the detailed piece on top of that, and then you would adhere it like so. Okay, once you've got that done, then you're going to take these 2 pieces that create that flower, that bulb, or I don't know what they call it, and you're going to stick it on top of the daffodil like that. Okay, so once you've done that, you're going to get this. Hopefully that makes sense. And then there's another couple pieces in here, like this one right here. This one makes a little bud, and you've got a little detailed piece. Let me move these out of the way. Oh, and then there's a cute butterfly. So this butterfly, you can layer them on top of each other like so, or you could even die cut. One of the butterflies will die cut out this butterfly. And isn't that butterfly so pretty? I think I have some, maybe I had some samples, I don't know where I put them now, of me coloring and die cutting that butterfly. I haven't used this yet. This is definitely an easy one to use. It would be great on the inside of a card. And then of course I love a good speckle or splatter stamp. So that's great that that's included. All right, let's bring in this last card and put it together. We're gonna use a very vanilla base. And then this is one of the DSPs here. Let me flip over the other side. There you go. And we're just going to adhere this directly to it. So if you were to continue to put these flowers together like this, you could even do this, exactly what I'm doing, but like use the reverse side, right? And make it a little bit of a brighter card. I wanted to use this basic black and the very vanilla. I just thought it was striking. Okay, there we go. I die cut this. I think this is from the Scallop Contours dies, I believe. Sometimes I forget. And now to place the flowers. So we're just going to kind of eyeball where we want these flowers to go. I was a little bit on the struggle bus with the stems. I was like trying to figure out how in the world do these stems go. So what I decided to do is just stick them to the back and forget about them, because you can see right here they're kind of angled, and I was like, maybe I need to figure out the direction of it. I'm just sticking them to the back, and you can check out the samples in the catalog to see how Stampin' Up does it. But first I'm sticking it to the back and I'm gonna kind of have it angle hopefully towards the middle. There we go. You guys will have to tell me if you like this very vanilla on top of very vanilla, or do you feel like it does, you can't see it? Is it washed out? I just thought it looked super elegant, but I do love using the different colors to show the detail. Okay, let's stick that right there. And then let's put one on this bud. I think I'm gonna put it on this side. Maybe put a little, oops, too much glue there. This would be when I would want my silicone mat. I'll just stick it here. Okay, you guys like that? I hope you do. All right, so, okay, we kind of have an idea of what we're doing. Let me add some more adhesive here. And I'm gonna let some of it hang off. This is gonna be a thick card. I'm gonna have to give this, like actually hand this to somebody instead of trying to put this in the mail, because, oi, this will be, they will ding me all kinds of ways. All right, and then we'll do one more here. Okay, now that I've done that, I need this to come over there a little bit more. I'm just gonna take and do that. And then we've got some little leaves here. So I'm gonna put one leaf right here. Get that behind that flower. And where's my other leaf? Right here. Can I slide that in there, you guys? Good enough, right? Okay, so let's add this adhesive. So yeah, so this is definitely that I started off with some simple stamping. This is not hard, but it's a bit time consuming. But it's relaxing too at the same time, if that makes sense. All right, do I want that there, guys? Yeah. Just add a little bit of adhesive here. And there. It's not quite symmetrical, but that's okay. Okay, and now what I want to do is just take and add a little sentiment to the middle. And I'm gonna have to like fix this at the bottom. What I think I'll do is probably tie a little bow around it, and then let's put our sentiment on. So our sentiment is going to be, if I can see where I put my stamp set, here it is. I think the sentiment that I'm going to use is going to be maybe big congratulations. We could definitely switch this up for sure. So let's find big congratulations and see. There it is. I do really like this stamp set, Special Moments. It is very versatile. There's so many unique sentiments in here. So when you have a photopolymer stamp set like this, I recommend that people lie them on the mat or on their table, so that if they happen to bend or move or shift, it'll just kind of find its form again, so you don't have a crooked sentiment. Then you're going to take your acrylic block and place it right down over it like that. Okay, let's grab our black, which I'm just going to use some Memento black. Maybe, guys. Okay, I'm going to use Stays On. Oh, here it is right here. Sheesh. I'm going to use the Memento black ink. And ink this up. Sometimes there's a little bit of a film on your stamp sets, especially the photopolymer, when you first get it out and you use it. So I like to add a little ink and then rub it in like this to get some of that film off, so that it will accept the ink a little bit better and stamp better. Okay. And we'll just stick that right there. All right. I'm gonna cut these all off. I'm gonna have to do something with that. Maybe I cut it off too short. And I think I need another stem. Anyways, so here we go. I'm gonna stick this on here, and I'm just gonna eyeball it. I want a little bit off of each edge. Center it there. I'm gonna use my good old trust. Well, no, I'm not. I'm gonna put this flat and then use the dimensionals for the sentiment. Okay, guys, we're almost done, and then I got some cute samples to show you. Excuse me, make sure this opens in the right direction. Have you ever done that? You put a whole card together and then you realize it's upside down or the wrong way. You guys are gonna have to give me some tips on how we can fix this. Maybe I should have let the stems come down a little bit longer, and just tied a bow around it. Anyway, we'll stick dimensional here and here. Place this one around across it, just like that. Okay. Maybe I can stick the butterfly on the bottom. Just kidding. Let's get a little dimensional on this butterfly, and we'll call this card good. I hope you guys like this card. It was, I hope I need a half a dimensional. I just really felt like the black and the very vanilla is just such a stunning combination. If I make any revisions to it, like the bottom here, or change the sentiment, I'll definitely share a card or two. Okay. There we go. I think you guys can see that. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Okay, now let's get out some of the other samples that I've created using this product line. Let's see here. This was a team swap card, so if you're on my team and you're watching this, this is a little sneak peek for you, featuring some of that DSP. And then these are some gems they're genial gems from the annual catalog, and they were pale papaya, so I thought that would be perfect. And I used a little pale papaya ribbon there. A nice simple card. Using, again, the Special Moments stamp set, which is free with a $100 order. And you've got that there. And my friend Angela helped me put those together for my team. And then this was just another sweet and simple card here that you can create using strips of that DSP. And this die right here is from the pillow box die that was in the holiday catalog, and it's actually still available, and it's carried over. And so I really love the way that little die looked, so we put that together. And then here is a little gift box. This is a box that's available as part of the Valentine suite. You guys will see me playing with that in the future. And this is our paper here that we're featuring today, the daffodil. And just a cute little box, and it's got some candy in here. And these boxes are for a team event that I did. And then here are a couple more cards, not cards, but little Circes here. So this box, one of my team members asked me about putting the box together, and so it's a retired die, it's the perfect parcel die. When I put it together, I thought I need to decorate these with something current. So you'll see here that I did use the Happy Mother's Day and also the Easter Blessings. These are both from the actual stamp set. And then for this one, I decided to wrap the DSP around differently. And I have something for you that's from this stamp set. So let's bring in the cards again. And if you guys enjoyed that, please definitely like and share this video with your friends. I'm going to upload it to YouTube as well. And grab all these projects that we did today. Here's the first one. I was showing you the simple stamping, and then here's a little bit more of a stepped up version. Okay. Here's the second one. And they're the same card, essentially. Okay. And then our last one. So I'll share pictures with you guys here on the Facebook page. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. Here is the host code if you decide to place an order with me. Remember, if you spend $50, you can choose something free out of this Sale-A-Bration catalog. And if you love the daffodil bundle that I just shared with you, I would get that one because it's 10% off. And then it does qualify you for the free daffodil paper that we played with today. And here's that daffodil paper, so pretty. If your order ends up being $75 or more, using this host code until Monday, then you will actually get this iridescent rhinestone basic jewels for free. And I believe these are $8, maybe $7 or $8. I can't remember, out of the catalog. So you'll get that for free. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. And thank you, Rhonda. Thank you so much. Definitely reach out to me. Let me know if I can answer any questions for you or help you with your orders. All right, have a great night, you guys. Bye-bye.